staying with us here on Mirror. Now you're watching the news with me, Tanvi Shukla. Straight up first, the headlines. Violence breaks out at Banaras Hindu University after the arrest of a student leader on charges of obstructing an IIT BHU program. Teenager accused of killing 7-year-old Pradyuman in school will now be tried as an adult, will be produced in Gurugram Sessions Court on 22nd December. The food at your table could be unsafe. CAG makes shocking revelations in its report. Health Ministry pulled up for failing to regulate. No end to crime against Betis. Minor allegedly gang raped and then murdered in Karnataka's Vijaypura. One accused arrested, 4 others on the run. Citizen groups from Bengaluru approached Karnataka Home Minister seeking speedy probe into the Annikal gang rape case. No arrests have been made 3 weeks after the incident. Former TV host and producer Suhaib Ilyasi sentenced to life imprisonment by a Delhi court for murdering his wife in 2000. Big setback for Tarun Tejbal as Bombay High Court quashes his plea challenging the trial in a rape case against him. 16-year-old Ryan international student who's been accused of killing Pradyuman Thakur in the Gurugram school will be tried as an adult and not as a minor. That is what Juvenile Justice Board has said. The accused will now be produced at Gurugram Sessions Court on the 22nd of December. Remember, the student is accused of slitting Pradyuman's throat in the school washroom.
In a big development, the Juvenile Justice Board has declared that the juvenile who was apprehended by the CBI in connection with the murder of 7-year-old Pradyuman inside the Ryan International School, Gonsi area, Gurugram, will be treated as an adult and will be produced before the Sessions Court on December 22nd. Now, this assessment was made on the basis of the 3 reports, the sociological, physiological and the psychological report, which was discussed at length in the last hearing of the Juvenile Justice Board. And based on the observations and arguments that had taken place, the Juvenile Justice Board concluded that the juvenile in this case will be treated as an adult. Now, what this essentially means is that contrary to what the juvenile system, which is currently in place, clearly suggests that a juvenile, if convicted of a crime, will be sent to 3 years of remand home. Now, once a juvenile is treated as an adult, that changes and he now becomes a part of the adult criminal system, where it is going to be a more punitive action. But under the amended Juvenile Justice Act, a juvenile cannot be given a death sentence or life imprisonment, but certainly the punishment can be more than 3 years. Now, there are many other aspects there that clearly differentiates between the juvenile system as well as the adult criminal system. More importantly, the juvenile system is aimed at reform and specific counseling, while the adult criminal system is aimed at punishment for a heinous crime. Now, the next hearing in this case will be taking place before the Sessions Court on December 22nd. In Gurugram, this is Apurva Sridhar for Mirror Now.
Moving on, women hounded, assaulted, raped and murdered. Be it schools, offices or even homes, there is no place which is 100% safe for our women. Mirror Now has been constantly highlighting how unsafe our country has become. Despite highlighting several loopholes in the security system, very little is being done about it. Continuing our campaign once again, tonight we ask how long before the government works to make our country safe. So first up, let's take you through the details of a horrific incident coming in from Karnataka, where a minor was allegedly raped and murdered by 5 men in Vijaypura. The incident took place when she was on her way to school. The family of the girl staged protests outside the police station demanding justice.
Case of rape has come to light in Vijaypura district of North Karnataka. In fact, this particular victim, a minor girl, she was on her way to school when the incident took place, when nearly 5 men accosted her, took her to an isolated place, raped and murdered this little child. In fact, what we see on the screen is the parents of this particular deceased child as well as Dalit organizations sitting right before the police station, Adarsh Nagar police station, demanding justice and questioning the law and order situation in Vijaypura district. However, what we know at this point in time is only 2 accused have been arrested while 3 others are still at large, and police have launched a manhunt. In Bengaluru, Shrija for Mirror Now.
Meanwhile, in Bengaluru, residents approached Home Minister Ramalinga Reddy to submit a memorandum seeking a speedy investigation in the Anekal gang rape case. Remember, a 26-year-old woman was gang raped, brutally assaulted, her legs smashed, and then she was left to die there. Residents also said that no compensation has been given by the state to the victim.
After Mirror Now's relentless coverage, citizens of Bengaluru have submitted a memorandum to the Home Minister Ramalinga Reddy asking him to meet the victim of the Anekal gang rape and asking him to make this priority and also provide financial assistance. We understand it's been a little more than 3 weeks since the horrifying incident that took place here in the IT capital, where 5 men raped this particular 26-year-old woman and hurled her like a ball at a wall and was left to fend for herself. And of course, she was taken to a nearby hospital, Bowring Hospital, for treatment by an NGO, and she is recovering. She's on the way to recovery. But however, the sad, unfortunate part of this is the government so far haven't even visited her or given her any financial assistance, and citizens of Bengaluru have joined hands to urge the government to provide her financial assistance and also that demanding the culprits be brought to book.
Time for a quick break. Lots more news on the other side. Stay tuned. Welcome back. The food at your table could be unsafe. The food that you're feeding your children could be unsafe. A report by the Comptroller and Auditor General of India has made certain findings related to packaged food. The issue has now raised serious questions on whether food safety has become a joke across India. Is the government really doing anything about this at all?
The food we eat, whether it's packaged or not, it seems like it's not safe for consumption. The Comptroller and Auditor General has slammed the Food and Safety Standards Authority of India on many accounts there for failing to justify why certain food manufacturers have been given licenses with 50% documentation only. The FSSAI mentioned that there are about 16 documents that are taken, but in 50% of these cases, as said by CAG report, the documentation is incomplete. In fact, the labs where the samples of food are tested are also not accredited under NABL. That means that the labs where the food you and I are eating are not certified and cannot be adjudicated to judge whether a food item is safe for consumption or not. What does this mean for the consumers? And can the government make sure that the food you and I are eating is safe? In New Delhi, this is Milan Sharma for Mirror Now.
Several issues raised by CAG are procedural in nature, and we have benefited from the report of the CAG and taken corrective actions on them. And having said this, a lot of work is still required to be done to ensure safe and nutritious food for our citizens. There is a big area of concern as far as states are concerned, because several states are not giving adequate importance to food safety issues as they should be. Some states are doing very well, and much of work relating to compliance happens at the state level, and that is an area where we need to be working hard and working more effectively with the state governments. One single challenge is, inadequacy of manpower and capacity at the state level, because we can only be as effective as our field machinery, and our field machinery is the states. So whereas in some states things are happening very well, in some states a lot needs to be done. So that is the most important challenge that we face.
Well, all registrations at sub-registrar offices across the state of Tamil Nadu will now have cashless transactions. In a bid to curb corruption, The Tamil Nadu government has issued a circular to sub-registrar offices banning cash transactions. Shweta filed this report.
The Madras High Court has questioned the state government about what steps they have taken to prevent corruption that is most prevalent in the sub-registrar offices across the state of Tamil Nadu. Be it for property registration or for marriage certification or even for partnerships, people are coming to the sub-registrar offices and they feel that the corruption is the most rampant in these places. However, the court has been asking the state government about what steps they have taken to avoid corruption in the sub-registrar offices. Finally, it is up to the government to take urgent steps in ensuring that the corruption has been fought and also to ensure that the people here are protected. In Chennai, Shweta for Mirror Now.
Our vigilance officers are raiding the offices. We are making outsiders no entry into the office. We are making touts notification in the offices. Our district registrars and DAGs often making surprise raids in all offices and checking the register whether our staff brought some money. It is registered in the entry from entering into the office and going outside the office, by which we are avoiding cash flow in the office.
Once we have come out with online registration, it will be definitely very useful to the public, and there is a transparent transaction will be there, and people will be very happy to know, because nowadays so many things have come online, and like this register officer's work is also has come online, and it will be very useful to the public. Since it has come online, definitely all the chances have been are getting close for the corruption, and people will be definitely be happy.
Moving on, if your daily life involves commuting through Bengaluru's traffic, then it's all set to get worse. Bengaluru civic body has begun white-topping 28 major roads in the city. Let's first tell you what this really means. White-topping is a process where asphalted roads get given a concrete topping in the hope of giving them a longer life and to prevent potholes. But here is the rider. The entire process is going to take good 11 months and will only be finished next August. Mirror now decided to do a reality check at one of the city's busiest streets, the Outer Ring Road, and here is what we found.
It's been clearly a little over half an hour and I have just covered 1 kilometer distance here on the Outer Ring Road. In fact, this is one of the major arterial roads. What is happening over here is something called white topping. Of course, we do know that over the last couple of months, the BBMP, the civic body here in Bengaluru, has received a flag for not covering the potholes and for the number of pothole deaths. Now, this is the solution what they are looking at, where they are going to white top the entire nearly 28 major arterial roads. Now, the road that I am standing, right here and reporting is one of the major arterial roads which connects the IT hub, and we can even see here how there is traffic. The vehicular movement is almost stopped and it's so difficult for one commuter to even cover a kilometer of distance, because nearly it takes you half an hour to 45 minutes. Now, that is the plight of the citizens over here. Now, clearly imagine this is the situation here, because the timing is clearly questionable. It's just another couple of months to go for the elections, and we understand that the Karnataka government, the civic body, has come up with this kind of a solution, and the shocker over here is the citizens will have to put up with this kind of an ordeal for at least another 10 months.
Let's also take a look at what else is making news across the country. After the shocking evidence of rampant money distribution during elections, the TTV camp has released a never-seen-before video of former Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jayalalitha in hospital. The Election Commission has now filed an FIR against TTV Dinakaran and Vetrivel for releasing the video and has prohibited TV channels from airing it. Maoists attacked the Masudan railway station in Bihar and torched station property. 2 railway officials, including the assistant station master, had been abducted, but they have now been released. The attack comes on a day when Maoists had called for a 24-hour bandh across Bihar and Jharkhand. Max Super Specialty Hospital in Delhi's Shalimar Bagh has resumed service. The Delhi government cancelled the hospital's license after the hospital mistakenly declared a live baby dead. The hospital had filed an appeal before the appellate authority that has stayed the Delhi government's order now. Body of another missing soldier has been found in Gurez sector in Bandipora, Jammu and Kashmir. The martyred soldier has been identified as Rifleman Murthy. Soldiers went missing after an avalanche hit their picket. The Goa bench of the Bombay High Court has dismissed Tarun Tejpal's petition seeking quashing of the rape charges and the trial against him. Former Telga editor is accused of raping a former female colleague during an event in Goa in 2013. Former TV producer and anchor Suhaib Ilyasi has been sentenced to life imprisonment for the murder of his wife. Ilyasi shot to fame as the host of a crime show, India's Most Wanted. He was arrested in March 2000 after his sister-in-law and mother-in-law alleged that he used to torture his wife for dowry and was behind her death. Out of time on this edition of news. Thank you for joining us.